And after a big day yesterday, Swan River Rowing Club from Australia having to do a re-row in this event against Stratford after a bit of an altercation halfway down the course. Despite winning, it was declared to be a draw and a re-row had to take place. So the Swan River Rowing Club crew raced this event twice yesterday. Unfortunately, they're in the afternoon this time to give themselves a little bit more time. The Swan River Rowing Club closest to us on screen, at the top of your screen, that's the Star Club. And this is the Wyfold Challenge Cup.
A Star based in Bedford. A nice little river down there. Maybe they're used to the chop and the wash of this Henley course. But they look like they're easing ahead there, the Swan River crew. Maybe they're feeling some of the fatigue from yesterday, Sarah.
Yeah, look, it's a big ask to do 2 races, an hour and a half apart, to go through the emotion, the up and down of that. And they're only young, 18 years old. They've been fundraising to get across here to the UK. But they are looking a little bit tired, I have to say, this afternoon as compared to yesterday. But as we move further down the track, the Star Club's still in the lead, but hasn't perhaps taken too much distance from the last shot.
Yeah, they look like they're in control of this race right here. If we talk about rowing a little bit more in technique, yes, people think rowing's a flat-out physical sport, which it is, don't get us wrong, we're strong people, but the dream is to get the rhythm right. And it's the mix between the relaxation, so rowing in tiny bits of carbon fibre here, the relaxation, and then the application of power. So if you're fatigued, very hard to find that rhythm and that relaxation. You can see that there on the Buckinghamshire station in this Swan River crew. Fair play to the boys, giving it some still there. And as we've seen today, anything can happen down this course. Keep that margin small, anything can happen.
Exactly, and we know from this event, from the Wyfolds, that being in the Coxless 4, you do have a better turn of speed than the Coxed 4s, than the 8, and so you really can change your speed quite rapidly here. So depending on what they've got planned in terms of their race plan, you know, we could really see this race turn on its head later down the track. But at the moment, the Star Club looking pretty comfortable out in the lead. Ali Satchwell, Lloyd Mulkerrins, Michael Rutter and Tom Duran.
Yeah, they look like they've just taken a bit of advantage moving to the middle. I wonder if they're going to get warned for doing that. Yeah, sending some dirty water down.
A bit cheeky there. We can see the umpire waving the white flag over, flagging the Star Club to move over to their station. They're really not responding, but we can see the white flag and the megaphone of the umpire in the launch behind, asking them to move over, because that makes a huge difference, doesn't it, with washing down the crew behind you.
Yeah, so this boat following behind has got the umpire in it, and they're the person you do not want to annoy, because they're in charge of the whole race. You move too far over to the wrong station, you can be disqualified, and we've seen that. You've got to have good sportsmanship in this event. You can't just be sitting there washing down your opposition. But they look like they've moved back now and actually moved a pretty clear few lengths coming past the Remnant Club.
You can see here the crew from Australia, from the Swan River Rowing Club in Perth, Western Australia. Tim Sander, Chad Deracourt, David McKinnon and Riley King. They've been to several nationals. They've got many national championship medals between them. So a talented young group here. Great program over there in Western Australia.
And the regatta loves the international aspect of this event. Bringing over these different crews from around the world really is special, and it's really amazing for these Star Boys to be racing against an Australian crew. It's probably even more amazing for them to be sitting 3 lengths up, but it really makes this event so special.
We've got a huge number of international entries this year, as we have with previous years. A lot of American crews, Australian crews, a couple of Kiwi crews, as well as some of the national teams from around the world as well.
But these Star Boys are here to win it, and they're looking pretty comfortable there.
And it is a pretty stacked event this year, the Wyfold. We'll see a couple more Wyfold races this afternoon as we move through the program. Another Australian crew, in fact, Sydney Rowing Club, a bit later in the program.
Great shot overhead there. You can just see the symmetry in rowing and the cohesion the crew has to have. Yes, they're rowing flat out. Got to move in time together.
And the crew from Swan River, they said that they're not used to one-on-one racing, and we really don't have anything like this in Australia. But then again, there's not many regattas like this anywhere in the world. But match racing is not something that we tend to do so much of back home. It tends to be more fleet racing. So they said that they will try and keep an eye on their opposition, but it is hard when you've got a margin like this to contend with. The Star Club really controlling this race as they come down through the enclosures.
They might be feeling hot out there today in that natty kit they've got on. Some long sleeve red numbers. Like their attention to detail with that. Making it look easy towards the end of that race.
Coming down to the line, the Star Club taking the Wyfold Challenge Cup. Tough gig there for Swan River Rowing Club after yesterday, but a great job by the young guys.